But, well, the reason why I wanted to call was I wanted to share, like, a story about how we found out. Well, let me just give you some backstory here.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm Mexican-American. And my parents were born in Mexico. I was born here. And within Mexican culture, there's a lot of, well, for the lack of a better term, bullshit that we believe in that is collectively accepted.
Like words.
Yeah, like witch doctors, fucking shamans. Yeah, brujeria.
Oh, man, don't get me started. When I was a kid, La Llorona scared the crap out of me. And the cucuy? The cucuy. Yeah, that was terrifying. Why would you do that to a child? It's so for everybody else who does not know what I'm talking about, it's a boogeyman. And the cucuy was bad, but for me, the worst was La Llorona, because La Llorona, it was a ghost that was going to steal kids because she murdered her. It was just this whole thing, and it just scared the heck out of me.
They never taught me that as a kid, but, you know.
No?
It is what it is. People have different shit.
Fair enough.
But anyway, like I was saying, well, my mom, she was having, like, some serious, I'm just going to be blunt. She was having very serious, like, menstruation problems, like, very bad.
It happens.
And it was so bad, like, she couldn't sit down at all. Like, it would just, you know. But anyway, we were fucking having a lot of time trying to find out where we could get, like, some kind of cure. And we went to a woman's health clinic, and they gave her hormones, which made it worse.
Yeah. And
word got around that, hey, there's a witch doctor out in, I live in the Dallas area. There's a witch doctor in Oak Cliff, which is like a ghetto-ass part. And, like, he can cure you for, you know, a nominal fee.
Best place to find witch doctors, right? Trailer parks.
Yeah, exactly. And basically, when I caught wind of this, it was like maybe around 2013. I was like a couple years into being an atheist, and I was kind of adamant at that point, like right out of the gate. I was like, oh, hell no, you are not going to a fucking witch doctor. You are not. And I remember we got into this huge argument of, no, it's because this and that and this and that. And it all ended with, well, we don't care what you think. We're going to go. And after that, she went to the witch doctor, came back. She was fine, you know, because placebo effect. And I remember that same day they were like, hey, why don't you go? Why don't you go? You're not going to waste time and all that. And I was like, no, why would I want to do that? And eventually I went, but that's, I'll tell that on the side. But, well, 2 days later, my mother was in severe pain. She was, like, hurting. Her stomach was hurting. I remember she stood up a little bit and fell back on the bed. It was that fucking painful. And the worst part about it is we had to rush. My dad had to like, haul ass to the fucking ER. And what they found out was that she needed an emergency hysterectomy. And because she had, and I'm not kidding here, she had tumors on her ovaries the size of mangoes. Yeah, I'm not kidding on that.
Tough woman.
I remember when they gave us the news, I was saying in my mind, I told you this was bullshit. I told you. And, well, she got an emergency hysterectomy and everything, and she came out fine. And
glad to hear.
What had happened...
Good.
Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate
Seriously.
it.
Yeah.
But the icing on the cake of all this was during the days where she was in the hospital and we were waiting for her to be, you know, recuperated and everything. And, well, we were trying to get our mind off, you know, the recuperation process. And we wanted to have a little barbecue just to get our mind off of the thing. So we had it. Monday came along. I work with my dad. We drive to work. And during that whole trip, he was quiet the entire time, just silent, didn't say a word. Tried to do small talk, didn't reciprocate, nothing. So we get to work, and I'm in the parking lot, and I'm about to go inside. And before I leave, he goes, you know what? You're right. And I go, like, what do you mean? He's like, you're right. I was like, but what are you talking about? He's like, you're right about the curandero, the witch doctor, the brujo, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, what do you mean? He's like, because when I went to go out to buy the carne, the carne asada, at the store, I saw him paying for his groceries. And when I saw him, he was at the cashier ready to pay. And when he took out of his pocket, when I saw him reach into his pocket, he pulled out a huge wad of hundreds and 50s and 20s. And when I saw that, mijo, I fucking thought to myself, you sorry motherfucker, you lied to me. And I remember when he told me that, and I was like, what'd I tell you? What did I tell you?
Yeah.
And yeah, he had to learn the hard way. We had to go to the hospital to learn that those fuckers are liars. And yeah.
Well, I mean, the good news is that your mom was able to survive through that. And we're really happy to hear that. There are a lot of people who are not so lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the fucked up part, man. That fucks me up a lot. Like, they rely, like these witch doctors, these curanderos, that's what they're called. Mm-hmm. They rely on the anecdotes. And I always see their every time you turn on Univision or Telemundo or whatever, I always see their little ads of, oh, my tia, she got cured of a tumor and all this other stuff. And I'm just like, if they really cure people, why aren't they going to the hospitals? They'd be making a killing.
Well, and realistically, if you have the power to magically heal somebody, then anything you're doing other than magically healing people is unethical. You have a moral obligation to do that for free to as many people as you can.
What messes me up more is that the Latino culture parades this stuff as if it's a fucking, I don't know what to say. It's mind-boggling how dumb that is. Yeah. Like I don't get it, man. It's frustrating.
I completely agree. Do you have anything you wanted to add, Jenny?
I mean, I'm trying not to say the phrase in defense of Latino culture right now while I'm speaking to two people who were raised in it, and I was raised in Austin, Texas.
I honestly don't care. Have your own opinion, that's fine.
There's lots of cultures with a bunch of dumb shit that they believe. Also, apparently horoscopes are coming back as a thing. But yeah, I mean, there's a tendency to believe dumb shit.
I should never have queued you up for that. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I haven't gotten to talk all blah. It's
before I forget, just to give you the level of money that we actually paid, I think I told my little brother about this because he was around trying to help them. And they went 2 sessions. There was 2 sessions for my mom. And basically, I think they paid a grand total of like $1,000, $500 each session.
Yeah, they gotta charge you a whole bunch because they suspect that you're not gonna last that long if you're using their treatment. Well, some of them believe their own snake oil, but
when I went, go ahead.
I don't know why I'm throwing out other cultures and defending Latino culture. I don't know. Not that there's any shit.
Okay. Now, I'm gonna shut you down right now.
Well,
Joseph, go ahead.
Indian culture is also full of lots of that. Is all I'm saying. Yeah. But in a different.
When I had to go to the witch doctor, the whole ritual was kind of weird. Like first off, like he's a witch doctor, but he's using the Bible. Like, okay, I don't know. There's a thing called cognitive distance. I don't know. It's a little weird there, but like anyway, what he did was like he took a note card. He coated it with like olive oil, virgin olive oil. I don't know. I don't care. But he lit a candle, one of those weird Jesus-y candles, you know.
Oh yeah, and, the votives.
Yeah. Basically, he took the little note card, he wafted it over the flame, and he was just wafting it and everything. And then he took it off, and then he was like, he showed it to me, and there were like 3 darker burn marks, and he was like, there are 3 people bothering you in your life. And I was just like, okay, let's figure this out. And I didn't come up with anyone. I was like, my mom, my dad, and my brother. I was like, but wait a minute, I didn't need a freaking psychic to tell me that.
Yeah.
And basically, like, I then was like, wait a minute, why am I entertaining this shit? Like, and I was like, but wait, sir, if you're like a clairvoyant, shouldn't you know? And he was just like, well, it's because I need clues. And I was just like, but why do you need clues? And then we just debated like for 10 minutes back and forth. Yeah. And I was like, but you're a witch doctor and you're using the Bible. And he's just like, well, the Bible is a double-bladed sword and blah, 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 you know. And I was just like, you know what, this is a waste of time. And my dad had to cut it short. He was like, I'm sorry, senor, it's just, he doesn't buy it. I'm sorry. And I was just like, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the reason that the tendency to buy into it exists is that being a psychic wasn't invented overnight. There's like a lengthy tradition of, I'm going to say charlatans, but some people actually believe that they can read your future with tarot cards and whatever. But the techniques that are used for fortune telling are not, you know, entirely made up. They exist in that way because they are effective and allow you to take people's money and tell them things that you, ooh, how did you know that, right?
And you know, so in my experience, there are people who are just terrible. They're just absolutely terrible. But then there are also people who believe their own stuff. They drink their own Kool-Aid. And it's interesting how that can settle in. There are legitimately people that I've known in my personal life who think that they can read the future with cards. And so much so that it disturbs and scares them and has turned into this really wild kind of thing. And I don't fault them. I fault the reasoning that it took to get there. You know, we talk about being a skeptic. We talk about wanting evidence and wanting to be able to find causal links to things. And not everybody does that. And
not everyone is like capable of actually trying to understand certain like things.
Yeah. So the curandero, it sounds like he knew what he was doing. I definitely know somebody who has gone and done psychic surgery. For those of you who don't know psychic surgery, write that down, look it up. It's amazing.
James Randi did a
yes, he did
of that. Yeah.
Yes, he did.
James Randi's great.
So I feel you. I'm glad you called in because it's something that we should talk about more often, and that is that while your mom got through because she went and got help from the hospital, she might have gotten help sooner if she'd have gone to a hospital instead of going to the curandero. And there are a lot of people who don't go and are hurt, and those are real, tangible results. I mean, that is what happens. People say, oh, well, what does it matter if I go and get Reiki? What does it matter if I go and get acupuncture? I'm not hurting anybody. Well, yeah, actually, you're helping to validate a system that is not true. And by validating that system...
And plus, you're ignoring the problem.
And giving money to someone that is going to hurt people.
And
yeah, exactly.
And
sorry for cutting you off.
No, that's okay. Yeah, he does it all the time. This one.
Yeah, I'm under my quota for this far in the show.
He is.
Actually.
No, seriously, I'm just going to give it to him for the next couple.
I've been super nice.
You have been really good.
By my standards. Yeah, this is ridiculous.
But
not now.
God, I hate you. By continuing to go to those things. What people are doing is they are adding authority to something that can lead to people who actually do have real big issues, thinking that they can go to that instead of getting the therapy that they need. I've talked about it before, and I want to talk about it more as my uncle. He's continuing to go to homeopaths, and this is outside of the States, and he's not getting medical treatment, and he's most likely going to die, and it's happening slowly, and it's painful, and it hurts to see.
Yeah, totally, man. I understand that, man. I remember I was actually going to reference that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so,
just in case Eric forgot, or
no, well,
sorry,
not everybody watches all the shows.
Is too dark.
That's okay. That's okay.
Like I said, I just wanted to share that, and I appreciate the time. Y'all are cool.
Thank you. We think you're cool too. I feel like I did take a lot away from Jamie. Jamie, is there anything else?
Well, I just wanted to say that what's a shame is that the people that believe they actually have magic to use tarot cards or throwing, bones or whatever, are usually bad at it. Like psychics that are good at being psychics know why you use tarot cards and palm reading and get a properly made crystal ball and all of this, because it helps them do that, right? There's a reason they say con artist, because there's an art to conning people. Yeah. That's why I do something legitimate.
It's all like a performance in a way.
It is. Yeah. We actually got somebody in the comments for this show was saying you don't see witch doctors in emergency rooms. That's only partially true, because when things get real bad, they send the chaplain in. And if that happens and I'm in dire straits, I will chuck my bedpan. I think that there are people who try and make exceptions for their little magic, but...
I just, there are people that just say, oh, I just read the horoscopes because they're fun, right? And I don't know, I don't want to get into, clicks on a website is also supporting it. Yeah, there's only so much you can ask from people, right? Give half of your income to providing clean water for children that don't have it, right? But someone in the comments said, you never see fortune tellers winning the lottery. It's like,
somebody...
What fortune teller?
All right, man. Well, we're going to move on to the next call, but thank you for calling. Thank you for being a fan. You know how to get a hold of us, right? Should we do it again? Should we?
Yeah.
Yeah? All right, cool.
Yeah, I got it. It's all good. Órale.
All right, ándale pues. I'll talk to you later, man.
Okay, adios. Well, I don't know about that.
No? You get in touch with us on, email us. We will respond.
I thought we were cool.
Yeah. No worries, brother. Take care.
Yeah.